So if I go to your admin center guide, in the admin center guide, if you search, okay, again, I'm not going through this line by line. There is something called admin tools, chapter number 8. Okay. So in the chapter number 8, you will be finding how to find a tool, just like today we have discussed, right? As soon as you type, you'll be getting all the tools name here. And after that, you can search those tools, okay, directly from this search bar. There are two ways of looking at the search. Either you can search from here, okay, just like as I tell, if you start typing import, okay, all the import related the actions or the any transaction which is starting with import, it is coming up here. This is the one way of searching. This is called a tool search, okay. But in the top, there is another search bar called search for actions or people. So from here also you can search, okay, without coming to admin tool. Both are similar. Okay, here also if I type import, import, okay, all the things will be coming up. Exactly the same thing. Okay, you can search from here or you can search from here as well. Both are same, but this search is for both your tool search as well as the people search. Okay, which we'll be talking in shortly. If you want to search any people also, we can search from here. But this is exclusively for the tools only. Okay, only the tools you can search. That's the key difference here. Okay, between these two search. Okay. So now after understanding this, we will go to the next segment that is called admin alerts. Okay. So as an admin, I should be aware of in my system, if any issues, I should be able to understand what are the different issues. Okay. So that you will be finding in the admin alerts. So if I want to see more, you can see there are module wise alerts. Okay. For employee master data, I have 27 alert. That means for EC payroll to ERP integration, I have 27 issues or 27 notification. If I double click on that, it will be taking me to a section where I can see all the 27 alerts or 27 issues, whatever I'm having, right? So let's see that, the first one. So it is taking me to the data replication monitor. And from here, I can see what are the different issues I'm having. Okay, so you can see as of now. So let's see everything. I will put it here until now. And so you can see there are master data related issues. There are issues related to, okay, which are successful. I can see that it's a successful, and which are not successful is showing failed. Okay. So as an administrator, I should be aware of, okay, this many issues I'm having, and I can, if I want to see further, I can go for that message in detail. Okay. This is a very common thing. People who are working in Employee Central payroll. Okay. So as an administrator, I will be able to see those messages here. Okay. It is saying planned working time cannot be replicated. Okay. And another is saying check long text message available in the application. There is some issue in the payroll log. Okay. So now we are not going to solve this, but just for your awareness, this is the way you will be going and you'll be checking all of your alerts. Okay. As an administrator. Okay. So who will be solving this? If it's a data issue, generally the admin will be assigning to respective HR, okay, or the person who is responsible for those data, okay, they will be asking for them. And after that, then again, in the next process, it will be reprocessed, okay, and you have to ensure they're successful in the upcoming days, okay. Suppose it could be also a configuration issue. You can see no work schedule has been configured, okay, for a particular employee, right? So it's a typical SAP HCM table, okay. So in a particular table, it has not been configured, and because it for that the replication is failing. Okay. And so you have to check that as well. So there's the possibility, there's the possible error we can have. Hmm. But how to check it out? You have to come from the admin alert. Okay. This was for employee master. Okay. And same is applicable for suppose any workflow related topic if you want to see. Okay. So you can see that 236 workflow related issues are there in my system. And if you go here, it will go to another window called admin alert type is stalled workflow. Okay. So that means how many workflows have been stuck in my system. Okay. And all these are actually stalled workflow because it's a demo environment. Okay, we are not working on those regular basis. You can see for so many days, these many workflows are already pending. That means nobody is approving, nobody is rejecting, right? So, but in an ideal environment, you have to approve or you have to reject. Okay, so this is the way you have to go and check. Okay, so this is the workflow. Somebody has applied for a vacation. Okay, so here you can see that Mr. Stephens, he has applied for a vacation for 3 days from so and so date. Okay, and that was the balance. Okay, this will be coming under time management module in the success factor. Okay, but as an admin, I can go and check it out. And suppose I want to see who is the approver. This person is Corey Watson. This person is the approver, but he has not approved it. Okay, so maybe we have to send a reminder, or from the back end we have to approve it. Okay, if such issues are happening, right? So this is the way, as an admin, you will be responsible for monitoring, okay, all these alerts to ensure these are clean. There should not be any on any point of time. Okay, it should be clean. Okay, so it should not be overloaded with so many alerts. Okay, so every day whenever you log in as an administrator, suppose somebody is working as an admin, you have to ensure these are all clean. Okay, so same goes with your job information related issues. Okay, so it will take me to the admin alert type. So in the admin alert type, we have a different varieties of issue. It can be HR data issue, it can be job information related issues. The issue can be different varieties, right? And you can see, so these are all configuration related issues. Okay, so what they are saying, so for all this employee, you can see there is a field called HRIS field. It can be cost center, it can be division, it can be business unit. Okay, what it is saying, these are all invalid. Okay, that means in some cases it is saying invalid foundation object. In some cases it is saying invalid foundation object association. Okay, association means it's equivalent to your relationship. Okay, in OM, okay, we have object and relationship there. So here we do have a foundation object and foundation object association, very similar to that. Okay, if something is missing, and you will be coming here as an admin, and generally admin will be having a team, okay, to support him if it is a bigger organization, who will be responsible for solving all these related issues if this is coming up. Okay, so that is the way we work. Okay, whenever it comes to the success factor, admin, and all, right? So, but at least you should be aware of which error is coming from where, and is that a configuration error or it is a data error. Generally, if it is a configuration error, admin, if they are capable of, they solve themselves. But ideally, I have seen in the organizations, mostly it goes to the consultant. Okay, because the bandwidth issues and all, it comes to a consultant, and consultants generally fix these issues and revert to the admin. Okay, so that is a typical job you can download. Suppose I want to send it to a consultant. Okay, what I will do, I will select and I will take a download of it. Okay, and I will send to the my consultant. Okay, so that's the way most of the organization they would do it. Otherwise, if the admin can themselves solve it, it is well and good. Okay, they can check each and every individual section, and they will try to understand what is the issue. And you can see that for this person, cost center has this, and it's an invalid association with a legal entity. That means cost center and the legal entity, these two objects are not properly your aligned. Okay, so those are not properly, the the values is not correct. Okay, so that is the way you have to understand how you will be solving. So it will give me a lot of clarity if you go from here. But for now, you have to understand where exactly you will be seeing all these things as an administrator. Okay, so that you will be finding in the all in the admin alert section. Okay, so again, if I go to the your admin guide, okay, or implementation guide, so there will be a section called admin alert versions. Okay, so I would recommend to go through it. Okay, chapter number 6. It talks about okay, what are the things you can do in the admin alert. Okay, so it will be, there are different. We already talked about workflow. There is a pending workflow. We already talked about time management, absence, and all. HR data issues. It can be HR data related issue. It can be replication error if you're implementing EC payroll with employee central. Okay, it can be data replication error. Okay, so these are different varieties of issues you can have. Okay, and for which, as an administrator, you will be getting those alert. Okay, so this is what they are talking about in this sections. Okay, and huh. Other than that, how do you configure this? Okay, so how do you configure this? So you will be getting those details in the manage data. In the manage data sections, you will be getting those details. So how to check it out? So another window, just open it. I will show you. Manage data. In the manage data, you should go here, search for admin alert configuration. Okay. So if I go here, admin alert configurations. Hmm. So here you can say this is already, for me, it is enabled. Okay. So if it is not, you have to make it yes. Okay. If it is no here. Okay. So this is the first thing you have to ensure from a configuration point of view. Other than that, there are some other configurations as well when it comes to the admin alert. So there is the admin alert type. Okay. So this is the admin alert setting to enable it. Second is admin alert type. What are the different admin alert type? You can see. So we have seen the varieties of admin alert, right? So you can see these are different varieties. You can see there are so many varieties of admin alert. Okay. So let's say I'll talk about absence. Okay. This is one type of admin alert. Okay. This is for absence recalculation. It is active in my system. Okay. And there are also some settings. Okay. If it is required, you can do it. Otherwise, in this entire list, okay, whatever the alert you would like to activate, okay, you want to go for that. Suppose I want to go for another types of alert. Let's say it is related to the pay component, non-recurring. Okay. I can see here. So these are different pay component, non-recurring. Okay. That means is not frequently used. For those, if I want an alert, I can come here and I want to make it yes. Okay. So there are varieties of alert you can explore in your system, whatever in your project. Okay. Whenever you'll be having, there will be also alert for onboarding. Okay. So all follow a similar kind of a framework, similar kind of a configuration, but you have to understand where exactly it is. Suppose somebody will be telling this alert is not working. Okay. So first thing, you have to go to the manage data, check this and check that particular type. Okay. Admin alert type. And from there, you will be able to understand whether it is active or not. First, you have to check. If it is inactive, then you will not be able to get anything. Okay. But if it is active, then you have to check further. Some other issues could be. Okay. So suppose if you want to create a new alert type, you can always come here in the right hand side and you can also create your own admin alert type configuration. If you come here and system will give you an option like this. Okay. So make it yes, then you can start configuring as well. Okay. But this is the way we follow. Okay. So this is from an admin alert point of view. How do you configure it and all they talked about here. Okay. So this is something you have to check in your system whenever you're doing it. Now coming to the permissions, who will be having permissions for admin alerts and all? So suppose that I want to see, for that I have to, anyway, RBP I will be going covering in details in upcoming sessions. But for now, you have to understand there is something called role-based permission. Inside that, you should be having this permission. So how to check it out? Let me show that as well. For that, I need to go to the manage permission roles, manage permission role. And inside the permission role, if I go to, let's say I'm a system administrator, inside the system administrator, So I will go to the permission. There are two types of permission I will be having in general. Okay. One is user permissions, and another is admin permission. Okay. So what I need to check, I will check in the admin permission. Okay. So there is something called alerts. Okay. So I will search for it. When you see that admin alerts is there. Okay. So here I can see if I'm having this access, or the person or the role who is having this access already in place, okay, then only they will be having to access to this admin alert. Okay. So in this way, if somebody will be telling that, okay, I'm an admin, but I do not have access to this. So we have to verify this, okay, by coming to this, go to his role, what role he is belonging to, check that role, check the permission. Okay, so this is the admin alerts. Check, access admin alert, configure alert types, trigger rerun. So these are three things the person can do. He can access, he can configure, he can also trigger anything he want to rerun. So that is our meaning when you say here. Yeah, Simarjit, go ahead. Any questions here?
Sorry, Niladri.
Hmm.
If you like, for in my case, I'm the payroll, I'll be working as a payroll business analyst. So
Mhm.
I would be a user. Would I have access to admin center to go under the manage permission roles to see what I have permissions for?
Oh, so ideally, yes. Okay. So because even if you're a payroll business analyst, right? So definitely you should be able to understand what is the issues related to the payroll, right? Definitely, if you come here in the admin alert, okay, you should be able to access at least this one, payroll related stuff. Okay. So Employee Central payroll, if you can see, okay. So this you must be having an access to it. Okay. Otherwise, how will you understand what is the issue, right? Or at
But
least the
not
data replication
the
monitor. Hmm.
but not the role based, right? The manage permissions roles. I can't go in there, right? Only administrators can go
Huh.
there.
That you will not be having access. Depends upon the organizations again. Okay, this is no
Okay.
right and wrong answer. SAP has
Okay.
given all this framework, all these possibilities, right? But again, organization have to decide what kind of permission they would like to give it. Okay, but ideally, to a business analyst, they may not be giving this. Okay, because this is where we configure those permissions, right? But this access you should be having. Okay, so this is the data replication monitor, and where you can on a day-to-day basis you will be checking how many datas are how many data not replicated, is there any payroll related data issues are there. Okay, definitely you will be having access to this window. Okay, but it may be possible that you may not have an access to this. Okay, because this is a purely consulting, or you can say super administrative uh, permissions. So you may or may not have. Depends, you can just check it out with your people, but technically they will not be giving to this, because this is something if you give someone they may change it, right? Then it will be impacting the other roles and all. So this is very sensitive configurations. Mostly this is kept with your consultants or the super administrators. Okay, so this access you may not get. Okay, but it's up to the company, so there is no right and wrong answer.
Thank you.
It's up to the company. Yeah, yeah, welcome. Any other questions? Thanks for asking that.
I have multiple questions. First,
Yeah, yeah,
let's
please.
say time management. So
Hmm,
whether this success factor have negative and positive time management or something
hmm,
different.
hmm. Yes, yes, negative,
And
positive, both are we are having here. So the time management concept is here, both are there. And here also there are, but again, there are different tools for time management. One is we call it as a time, do not call it a time management as such. We call it EC, Employee Central Time and Attendance Management. If you see the official terminologies also, if you go to help.sap.com, and if you it is comes under your core module only. So HR and people engagement, core HR and payroll, and inside that you will be finding a module called success factors time tracking. Okay, so this is a
it's a
dedicated
different
module
module.
which is
Yeah.
it's different module. Okay, but if you see under EC we have a time and attendance tracking also. Okay, so these whatever under EC we are having, it is a limited functionality. Okay, so it may not be
It is
performing all the advanced. Yes, tell me.
related to negative or positive. This
Both,
limited
it is
functionality.
having both. it is having both actually. But if you need some kind of a time evaluation, some kind of a complex scenarios, it cannot handle. Okay, just like in SAP HCM, what we had, it can handle everything because we have a time schema, and whether it's positive or negative, we can customize as per our own. We can do everything from there. We do not require additional licenses at
So
law. Okay, but
success factor.
hmm,
Yes, you
hmm.
complete, sir, please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So the success factor for this time evaluation, does they have a PCR scheme also?
No, no, no. PCS schemas we do not have. We have a something called rules. Okay. So we have a business rules. Okay. So those business rules we can configure. Okay. And based on
Okay.
that, any kind of validations, time evaluation is still there. Okay. But it is not PCR schema. In payroll, we have a PCR schema still we are using in Employee Central Payroll. Till SAP is announcing a new complete cloud payroll. They are still working on that. Okay. But for time and attendance, SAP still it is improvising. It's not as good as of now. Okay, but still they have come up with a new module called time tracking, which requires a separate license cost. Okay, it is advanced. You can see any kind of advanced time
Time
sheet
sheet.
and absence management, time sheet if you're doing, it will be coming here. Any kind of flexibility if you're looking for, okay, employees and managers point of view, that doesn't come under Employee Central time and attendance tracking. Okay, this is a very basic one. Okay, the holiday calendar if you
Oh,
see, it will be here. Okay, any kind of let's say shift scheduling you're doing it, you can find it here. Okay, but any advanced topic if you're looking for, then it will be coming under SuccessFactors time tracking, which is
That
separate module, separate license, nowadays separate certification also. So that is the way.
okay.
Got it?
That
Yeah.
was I confused. I got confused. Like
so
for payroll, for this employee central
Any other
payroll,
question?
like yes, we do it in our SAP HCM. The benefits parts comes under SAP HCM payroll itself.
No, no, benefits comes under EC actually,
No,
global
no, no, no.
benefits management.
I'm talking about like say SAP HCM term. The benefits comes under payroll module. But
Hmm.
here, like you're saying, like SAP, sorry, success factor has benefits, like easy benefits, another module,
Yes.
different module.
EC benefits actually licensing point of view don't have to pay extra. Okay, if you're having employee central license, okay, it comes under that only. Okay, so but from a topic wise, if you see from implementation point of view, people charge
Mm.
separate. Okay, suppose I'm a consulting company, I have to implement employee central, and the client will tell also I have to implement employee central global benefits. Then that's the two module. Okay, so from that point of view, but from a product point of view, if you think about it, so it is a single module under single license, it will come up. Okay, so that
So
is the
why
way
on
people
that?
generally, yeah, yeah.
Why on
Sorry.
that day is saying like employee central benefits is a different module
Hmm.
on Saturday?
Which one? Different
There
module.
was
There are context actually. There is context actually. So if you see employee central benefits, if you go here, implementation point of view, if you think about it, it's a different module. So do not get confused. Okay, there are so many things in employee central, and everything we do not implement. Okay, in success in your typical, yeah, typical implementation whenever doing right. So you can see there are so many things are here in the employee central. Okay, but there is a core implementation. Okay, so core module if you're implementing, it's well and good. But if you're implementing additional from a product point of view, I will call it as a single product. Okay. But from a module point of view, sub-module point of view, so do not be too much overemphasizing those module name and all. Okay. But if you're implementing multiple modules, because multiple things if you want to implement, you require resources accordingly, right? So from that point of view, if you talk about, it's a different module. Okay, so there's a different way. Okay, so like because you have to configure, even I in my course also I kept it a separate module. Okay, although during hackathon I cover it as a single as a part of EC itself, but it's a different if you see in my platform as well. Okay, so there's a different module altogether. I kept it for benefits. Okay, because there are different people come under. Just a minute. Okay, so if you find my course here, for benefits, I kept it separate. So this is a separate topic altogether. Okay, although the concept is they will be using the same framework. Okay, we have AC global benefits. Okay, so from an implementation point of view, from a learning point of view, it's separate. You can think about it. But from a licensing point of view, client doesn't have to pay extra for this. Okay, so from that point of view, it is comes under one module. Yeah. Yes, Imajit, please go ahead. Any question?
Yeah,
Did not get.
Niladri, what about higher duties? Where does that come under? If we want to, if somebody has implemented higher duties, where does that come under?
Can you please little explain for higher duties?
Higher duties or temporary assignment? Higher duties is
Yes.
basically when basically if I'm the manager and my manager goes on leave, I can act
Hmm,
as a I can be his or her sub delegate. I can
hmm,
work in his or her role temporarily within my time frame, working time frame for that particular
mhm.
year of term of employment basically.
Okay.
So if I have a
Okay.
contract for 1 year, I can jump
Hmm.
to a higher position and I will be eligible for the higher duties allowances as well,
Okay.
basically. So I was
Okay.
wondering where would that come under higher duties? I did see something higher duties, and we have implemented
Mm-hmm.
higher duties in the current
Mm-hmm.
company. So I was wondering
Mm-hmm.
where would that come under?
So I think ma'am is
Mm-hmm.
talking about the proxy settings, the AC.
Yes, 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 yes. So proxy is fine, but we have a something called delegation. Suppose your absence, in your absence, somebody will be taking your work. Okay, you have to delegate your whatever the permissions to that person. Okay, for that time frame. Okay, so there is an option called you will find in delegations. So mostly the proxy is fine, but delegation also there is an option. So I think it is better not. I think directly proxies definitely you can do that on behalf of someone. Okay, but there is a delegation of a duty, so whatever duties you will be having during that particular role. Okay, so you will be able to delegate to that person will be working on behalf of that manager, what are the permissions that person was having, right? And
Mhm.
you will be able to perform that activity. But is it specific to, I think if it is you will be finding in delegate options to search for here, you will be finding those all those detailed activity. Okay, how do you delegate those relationship assignment? Okay, how do you delegate the permissions, right? Okay, all those settings, but you have to identify what are the different activities that person will be doing. Is it like all the activities the manager was doing, or there is a subset of activities? Let's say the manager was doing 20 different activities. Whether the higher duty, the same 20 activities that person will be doing, if it is yes, then everything automatically you have to delegate. Otherwise, you have to any specific thing the person is doing during that period of time, you have to delegate only the specific workflow. Okay, so that any kind of approvals or any kind of this activities the person will be doing, you have to pick and choose. Okay, so both options are available. Okay, but thanks for bringing that very nice question. But we have an option. Okay, so based on your requirement, we have all these options you will be finding in terms of a delegations mostly. There is automatic delegations, there is automatic, you can also optional. Okay, you can choose, pick and choose what are the different delegation if you want to do. Okay, but we have an option for that. Got it?
So how would the salary work? Because
Hmm,
if tomorrow I get promoted as a manager,
hmm,
my manager's position, my wage
hmm,
type will also change, right? Because
hmm,
higher duties have different allowances or
hmm, hmm,
salaries when
hmm,
compared to the current
hmm,
position. So how would that
hmm,
affect the wage type or allowances, the salary
hmm, hmm.
when we're running the payroll?
Huh. So if you are running it as an action, suppose is it an action in your system or how you're defining it? Higher duty as is it an action?
That's what I'm not sure. That's something,
Okay,
today I heard about,
okay,
so was wondering if
okay.
you had any
So
insight.
yeah. So we have an option. So let's say just like in SAP has CM, we have an action regions, right? Suppose this person is going on a higher duty. Okay. So we call it event regions. Okay, just like you have a action region in SAP has CM. We can run. We can have a higher duty. Okay, or like an option like this, and in that event, suppose this is a higher duty options. Okay, imagine it. Okay, concurrent employment is this person will be having, and this during that positions. Okay, what are the changes? Okay, just like in SAP has CM we have dynamic actions and all. Okay, So the way you configure, what are the detailed changes will be happening. Okay, so whether the person will be eligible for extra stock, is there any additional payment will happening? Okay, so when it is starting, when it is ending. Okay, so that's something you can always put it here, and you can configure it as per your requirement. For that, you need to understand the business, what exactly they're looking for, and what is their requirement in details. Okay, so otherwise, you have a lot of options. Either you can do automatic delegations, you can do that. Otherwise, you can come here and create an event. Okay, just like here, an additional event will come up saying add higher duties. Okay, and definitely you can find it out. So for that, you need to have a all those requirements in detail, just like you have mentioned. If any salary changes, salary definitely. So during this higher duty, okay, so you'll be adding more pay component only for that. So let's say it is for only 1 year. Okay, for that 1 year only, you will be getting additional higher duty allowances. Okay, and after that is over, you will not be getting. So that you can control if it is coming through an action section regions like this. Okay, just like here you can see an options like global assignment. Suppose somebody is going for a deputation, okay, to an on site for 6 months. Again, he's coming back. Very similar, we can create an event, okay, or event regions. Okay, event regions, and we can add as a higher duty as a event, because it is not happening throughout the employee's life cycle, maybe 6 months to 1 year, something like that. And during that, you can add your pay components, extra pay components, what the person is eligible for. Okay, so in this way you can handle it. But it's very nice question. So this is a real time, yeah, happening in the organizations. This is very similar to your any kind of global assignment or any kind of concurrent employment is happening. Okay, so this is also a possibility. All these things can be doable, but for that thing you have to understand what is the business scenario, what changes they're expecting to an employee record during that process. Based on that, you have to configure whether it is 100%, okay, everything what the manager was doing, this person will be doing, or there is a subset of activities. Okay, so accordingly, you can always configure it. System is flexible.
Concurrent
You can,
con
yeah.
concurrent employment, we cannot exceed the FTE, right? Of
Mm.
1.0. It has
Yes,
to
yes,
add up to
yes,
1.0. Yeah.
yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
maybe not all responsibilities as a manager they can take, maybe a
Mm,
subset
mm.
they will be taking
Subset.
probably. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely, you can have. Yeah. Okay, does it answer? So definitely I will be looking into it. So is there any other way of doing it? But this is the way for my understanding, this is the way people do it. Okay, delegation optional is there. Otherwise, through an employee event. Okay, from here you can create an action
Okay.
and add
Hello.
those.
I know from SAP on-premise, it's infotype 509. I know one lady is
Mm.
trying to ask a question for so long. So I'll give her,
Okay.
I'll give it to her, yeah, to ask.
Okay, sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking that. Yeah, very appreciate. I think we have a question
Oh,
in the chat. What is PCS? Prishita, you have a question. Did I tell anywhere PCS?
Yes, yes. How to transfer the alerts as a admin?
Hmm. How to transfer?
How to transfer the alerts as a admin?
Mhm.
I think she's asking about assigning the alerts, like if it's assigned to me,
Okay.
if I want
Is it
to assign it to someone else.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, in those cases, okay, so these alerts, whatever you are seeing here, it will be definitely appearing for all administrator. Okay, so depending upon this local administrator or those specifically your local administrator or your in general. Okay, so if you come here in the administrator alert type, you can see a lot of categories of alert. Okay, so that are application related issues, employee central payroll related or integration related alerts. Okay, all these alerts you can see, but definitely people who are having access to this, okay, they do not have to, they will be able to see all this alert in their dashboard also. Okay, but when it comes to EC payroll, there is another way of doing it. Okay, so in AC payroll directly you can assign those alert, because there is a team concept in employee central payroll. Okay, but in general here we do not have. Okay, so what we generally do, so people come here and wherever there is an alert, okay, these are all of your, you can see these are all related to the data related issues only, master data related issues. Okay, and your HR may not be having access to it. Okay, So because so what you can do, simply you can send it here. Come and take a download and make a correction. Ask the HR people, okay, or any HR data analyst. They will be going and fix all these things, okay, because these are all data related issues are there. Okay, and after that, admin has to again come here, or if it is already scheduled, this will be again reprocessed in the next upcoming schedule or next replication time. Okay, then this error will be automatically resolved. Okay, so that is a typical process. We do not assign as such because there is no options you can see here. Okay, especially for this alert. Okay, so we have to follow the same process. We send it to the export this file to the HR or people who are responsible, or a consultant who is responsible for. Okay, generally data issues, it is the responsibility to HR. Okay, or those payroll master data who is dealing with the data, they have to solve it. Or if it is configuration related issues, okay, if you can see in some cases, it could be a configuration related issues, then it has to be solved by the consultant. In those cases, for a consultants, you don't have to send a file separately, maybe just a communication offline. Okay, you can check, you can, the admin can ask, okay, so these many issues are we are having, we have to fix this. Okay, and it is available under data replication monitor, because that person will be also having the access. In case the person is not having the access, you just simply export this file, okay, send to it in an email. Otherwise, directly they can, if people are having the access, they will just tell that they have to fix it. But in payroll, it is simple. Payroll, we have a team concept. At present, I'm not able to show that. But in a team concept, people can assign, if it's a particular alert is coming up, that will be, suppose it's a tax related issues. We can send it to a tax export, okay, in the team. If it is related to any kind of insurance benefits and all, we can send that alert to those respective subject matter expert. Okay, so in that way, we can send those alerts. Okay. Does that answer your query?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So PCS, I didn't still understand what is where are you talking about PCR? PCR is something in payroll we use it. Okay. So not here, basically in SAP SuccessFactor directly. Okay. So PCR schema, we call it personal calculations rules and all. So that is something in the typically payroll you will be finding. And although in EC payroll we are using it, but those are configured in the payroll system, not here. So that is okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
So now,
you're saying
yeah.
PCR we don't have, right? You mentioned
Hmm,
in success
hmm,
factors, but in SAP on premise, we do have
hmm,
PCR schema or the time evaluation schema, basically.
hmm,
But in success factors, you're saying we don't have that. We have business rules
hmm.
instead.
So as of now, actually PCR schema still be used for payroll, because currently, but here we do not configure that. We configure in the payroll system, which is still in on-premise. Okay, still we do that. Okay, but in SuccessFactor we do not configure it. We do it in a traditional URC payroll system, which is the on-premise system only. Okay, but in the future, as I say, maybe once we have a purely cloud payroll, SAP will be coming up with a new concept. Okay, but as we speak, a PCR schema is there, but not in SuccessFactor, especially in the EC payroll. But for time, we do not use typical PCR schema as of now, because we have a business rules there. So that's a difference.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. Any other questions related to alerts? No. Okay, good. Then we will go to the next. Before we go to the next, let me see if anything is missed out. I do not want any topics to be missed. So, okay. So setting notifications. So this is again, okay, any kind of alerts notification. How do you check it out? So that is where they are talking about setting of email notifications. And how do you check it out? Who has activity email notification, personal system settings, setting notification. So it is very simple thing. So suppose I want, just like you go to any profile and I want to get what kind of notifications. So same thing, if anywhere, if you go, so you will be having a section here. So they are saying notifications. Okay. Just like it is a system setting. Okay. At a personal level, suppose any one of you, let's say Srikant or Sahil or Shravanti, They do not want notifications to see in their email box. Their email box is getting full. Okay, so what they can do? Okay, no, I do not want send emails, so many notifications coming to me. I will go at a personal level. I will check this one, read message in the system only. Okay, then only I will be able to check. I will no notifications I will be getting. Okay, only in the success factor you will be seeing this is showing 52. Okay, and the first day I was talking about, right? What all the notification will be coming here only, just like in WhatsApp or Facebook we see a number on the top of that, right? So there only I would like to see my notifications. I do not want any email. Okay, so this is the way you can set it up. So in the to-do list or in the notification sections, okay, you will be finding, you can see this is my to-do list which is having 50 plus notifications, and these are different categories of notifications. Okay, so I have a notification related to the recruiting related notification 15. Okay, data review notification 12. Okay, performance review 16 notification. Okay, approve request, any kind of a leave or any kind of request, core request. Okay, by combining everything in my system I do have 52 for this employee only. Okay, but if I do not want to email anything, I can choose this one. Instead of, if you're sending email to me, for everything you'll be getting an email notification. Suppose if you do not want at an employee level, you can always do that in this setting. Okay, so that is what they are talking about in the next part, in the setting of email notification for any kind of a admin alert. Okay, so this is one thing they are saying. Another way they are saying the admin alert notifications templates. There's a template for it, and how to check it out. So there is something called email notification template settings. Okay, so if you go there, email notification. This is a transaction they're talking about. Okay, so from here you can see as an admin. Okay, so this is not an employee level. Let's say for every employees, I want to activate some of the notifications. This is a master notification list. Okay, but there are some notifications you will be finding by default, these are grayed out. Okay, that means as an admin also you cannot change it. Okay, that is a must. Okay, so you can see a lot of notifications are like this for any kind of a workflow approval, workflow rejections. Okay, you cannot change. But let's say there are certain notifications, welcome message for any contingent worker. There is a employee transfer notifications, reset password notifications. Okay, so as an admin, I can come here. This is all kind of a notification templates are available, and I can come here and anything I would like to update or anything I would like to change. Okay, so anything I would like to activate or deactivate, which are allowed. Okay, I will be able to do it here. And this is again covering different modules. If you can see, there's a recruiting related notification, there's a benefit related notifications, there are notification related to the mobile. Okay, recruiting interviews notifications, right? Some general admin notifications like a role based permission, role, if somebody's role changing, somebody's group is changing. Okay, okay, all this mentoring part. So it is a lot of modules. Okay, 360, that means a performance management, goal management. This centralized email notification templates are available. From here also you can control. And this is again we'll be learning in the upcoming any modules. If you are opting for in the future, go to the respective notification template, and if you want to change anything in the subject line or heading, and you can come here, those subject, those email body text, you can come here, and as an admin you can also change those things here. Okay, this is a centralized template they are also talking about. It is an admin can do it. Okay, but at the employee level, whatever I have shown to in previous, that's at employee level. Okay, the person can do it. So that is they are talking about in this section. Okay, so now I think these are all I have covered. Admin alerts. Okay, subscribe to emails button. This is fine. Enabling, this is already covered. Manage data, make correction. Solving, this is the permission which I talked about. Those three permissions you should be having in the RBP. We have seen this. Then this is your again a permission, admin alert and configure alert types. Okay, so this is something you should have a permissions. Already covered this one. Then alert type. This is again manage data. You go and you can set it up. Other than that, include past and future records. This is fine. So there are also some alerts which you can also schedule. Okay, so this week setup it's like a job in the sense. So some alerts you want it to be completed. It would be triggered every 1 week. Okay, every Monday or early in the Monday morning. Okay, you can also schedule them if it is required. And for that, as usual, just like in SAP has CM, which other tool anyone can guess? Anyone if you have remembered which tool you use for scheduling in SAP has CM? What was the T code? Or you have used any other thing which is by ABAP? So here we have a scheduled job manager. So where you can any alerts or anything, email notifications and all, okay, you will be monitoring them here. Okay, so if anything is related to the notification, interview reminder, you can see there's an upcoming reminder for an interview. So it has been scheduled. Okay, so anything you would like to see, anything is scheduled, okay, you will be able to monitor from here. This is a tool, we call it scheduled job manager. Okay, there's an upcoming interview reminder. That reminder notification will go to a particular person, right? This kind of alerts also you can come here and you check it out here. Okay, so this is what they mean here, admin alert types, which you can also set it up. Okay, in terms of
Are you talking about SM36?
yes,
NILAD?
37, SM30,
37 or
SM37,
30?
SM57. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
yes. You're right. You're right. That's the transaction. This is the equivalent of here. We do not have any SAP some SM37 like that transactions. We have a scheduled job manager. Okay, so from here you can monitor. Suppose somebody is telling, okay, this request or this job is failed. Okay, or this job is not executed properly. Okay, so you can come here. You can have a different status here. You can see. Suppose if you want to see only failed one. Okay, I will come here, check failed, go. So these are my failed. Okay, some times related issues are there. For the reason this is failed. Okay, I can come here and I can check it out. Okay, so the mail went. Okay, so these are same thing happened, but there are some issues happened. Okay, so job is failed. All these are means the job has started. Though okay, the mail delivery was successful, but finally it failed. Okay, the time sheet related issues. Okay, so in this way, if anything related to the alert or any jobs, if you want to monitor anything, okay, so you have to ensure you should know this transaction or this tool called scheduled job manager. This is where you monitor, and if you want to see only for the last, if you know the date on which date it failed, okay, you can choose that date or any other, if you know the job request ID or job name in detail, okay, or you can do it from a module wise also. Suppose I want to see anything related to the data replication, okay, or any EC related alert or notification I want to see, because we are talking about notifications, right? So let's say I'll filter only EC related notification. I will go here. Okay, at present I see for employee central alert and notifications, I do not have any issue as such. Okay, so then I am not worried. But if there is a notification related to EC alert and notification, this is a job. You can see alert scheduling is a job name. If you go further, so you can see this is the job request ID. Job type is EC alerts and notifications, and occurrence. This is what they are talking about. This is a one-time activity. In my system, this is a one-time activity, but it can be what are different other frequency it can have. It can be one time. Okay, it can be daily, it can be weekly, it can be monthly, it can be never. Okay, so it depends upon your scenario. Okay, but in my system, whatever I've shown to you, this is a one-time activity. Okay, so okay, and whether the after the job is over, whether it will send you notifications or not, you can check it out here. Okay, But this is a place where you will be finding all the transactions is happening. Okay, equivalent to
Is it,
SM37.
is it, oh, sorry, is it the scheduled jobs for all, anything, or is it
Hmm.
specific only to update the employee central module?
This is specifically for EC, okay, Employee
Okay.
Central alerts and notifications, but there are other as well. Suppose any kind of a data related things are happening, right? There is a
Okay.
employee you are doing a, let's say you are going live from SAP HCM to SuccessFactor. You have already prepared. Let's say you're having 50,000 employees who are in SAP HCM, and you're doing a cutover activities, and you are bringing those 50,000 employees in the success factor. You've already prepared that file, okay, in that seat, and you're doing employee export job here, okay. So here you come here and you check it out, okay. So at present, I do not have such a scenario, but you check this job type. For every scenario, we have a specific job types, employee export, employee import, okay. And so you just come to that particular job type and you verify if there is any error. Okay. Suppose let's say out of 50,000 employees, 48,000 employees were imported successfully. Okay. Or 20, only from 2,000 employees are having some error. Okay. So if you come here and you will finding, okay, what is the error? I will need to figure it out. Then I can see, okay, this many errors we are having. I have to solve those errors. Okay. So this is a place for any kind of upload you are doing or any kind of jobs you're scheduling and all in Employee Central, you can always
Okay.
come here and
So
you can
it's,
find it
it,
out here.
it's only for the import, right? Upload.
Oh,
Otherwise, there is a P2P
oh.
replication, but this is only
Yes,
for those that we are doing uploads in bulk.
yes. In bulk,
Okay.
wherever you're doing, and these are the scenario wherever you are utilizing this number of scenario. Okay, only for those cases you will be utilizing this activity. Okay, any workflow, any compensation, it's a
Okay.
fixed number of list actually. Okay, but for replication, it's a separate one. Okay? So that is something you will be checking in the data replication monitor. But here, these are the different lists. Okay, from a scheduling point of view. Hmm. Okay, so this is the place where you will be finding all these things, how to check those alerts, how to check those admin alert. Okay, so this is, I think, almost I covered. I'm just checking if anything is missed out. 6.1.8, retentions, alert, additional fields, MDF, object, data framework. So this is something we will be seeing later on. Like there is another configurations. Suppose you want to add a custom field to an alert object. How do you add that? Okay. So that thing you will be finding in the configure object definition. There's another transactions. Okay. These are all your easy transaction actually, which I'm saying you. Okay. It will be easy for you whenever you'll be covering EC in the future. Okay. You'll be familiar. So configure object definition where exactly we define those objects. Okay, just like in SAP HCM, we have a data dictionary in for everything. We have a tables, right? The tables we do not call it table, but the data structure is usually finding defined here. Okay, so if you see here in the configurations of the definitions, we check that adding field is possible for corresponding. Find the information on this alert. Okay, so they are saying here like this. Come here and any alert you are going to configure, search for object definition, select the corresponding alert object. Alert object is what? So just like any object, which is basically for a particular module you are creating alert. So in this example, they are saying time management alert. Okay. So let's see in our system whether you are having or not that part. If you come here, let's say I'm putting alert. You can see a lot of alerts we're seeing here. Okay. And I want to create an alert message. Okay. So let's say it is an alert message. So alert message, what exactly you can do? For in an alert message, it can be editable, it can be active. Okay. This is the structure of an alert message, what an alert message can have. Okay. So in an alert message, you will be having a alert ID, it will be having it will be a text. That means a string actually. Okay. It is equivalent to people who know the coding. we define those fields, okay, in the beginning, right? So we do not do the coding here as such, but technically these are all defined in the system, okay? So for every object, whatever you're creating and all, okay, so same list you will be finding in the managed data, okay? But here we are just defining those alerts, okay, or defining those objects directly coming here. If you see any other alerts here, okay, just like we have seen other, okay, admin alert, absence reallocation alert, admin alert notification, subscription, okay, so anytime for screen setting, we are doing it, MDF alert, for everything, we have a different alerts, okay, invalid approver, okay, or invalid approvers in employee relations related workflow. There are different alerts you can see, and the corresponding alert, okay, you will be having the definition of those alerts, okay, how it is defined. So this is a little technical, which will be again not may not be understanding everything here, but you just understand where exactly the path, okay, where SAP has defined it, okay, and that is something you have to just have a look into it. So what they are saying here, okay, and for anything, if you go in these alerts and all, if you go further details of any of this object, okay, so you will be finding a lot of options here, okay, whether that value will be visible or not, whether it will including inactive users or not. There is something called transient, okay, so what they are explaining, transient means what does it mean in general? People who have studied electronics, they might have seen, or a transient in by English terms, anyone, what is the meaning of a transient that they are trying to cover here? Transient will be yes, most of the objects, and visibility will be read only. Any guess what is the meaning of a transient here? So the idea is transient means this data will not be stored in the table. Okay. So like if you are having some data that you are storing for a temporarily, okay, and that will be getting updated to another, say the value, initial value was 1, the second value is 2, okay, and the second value only system will always, let's say, storing only the latest value, it is not storing the previous value, okay. In such cases those value will be called as a transient value, okay. So that means the system will not store those data, but always system will send update any kind of reports you are dealing with and all, system will always check the latest data only. In such cases, this is called a transient. This is also technical stuff, okay? But you have to understand for in such sections, if you go. So in the admin alerts also, they are following this structure, okay? They are asking us to check the setting. The meaning I just explained, but don't worry, this is something we'll be learning in the Employee Central in detail, okay? But for now, just to understand, where exactly it is configured and what is exactly the meaning of a few terminology. Transient, visibility. Visibility means it will be only read only. You will not be able to edit anything. Okay? If that is a setting we have done for any objects, okay. So you can see this is a read only. That means you will not be able to change as an employee or something like that. Okay, so that is the meaning here when it comes to the visibilities and all. Okay, so this is they are configuring, okay. Also there are certain settings which you're again learning in the Employee Central. So whenever you're creating any custom alert, okay, so you should have a permissions to these two transactions called as the managed data, which we have just seen it, okay. Managed data transactions should be having access. Also there is an extra another thing called configure business rules, so you should be also having access to the business rules, which will be again learning in another session. So that is something we will be looking at. This is a little complex, okay. So this is how a typical business will be looking like. Add country to the time alert, okay. Suppose you are having a company in a specific geography, and that alert should be available only to that particular country or two countries, okay. So that is something you can always configure like this, okay. So this will be part of your typical business rules, okay. And for that you have to find out in the, we'll finding them in the configure business rules. This is not I'm going to cover now because this itself is a big topic, okay. Just for your understanding, just to understand the transaction where exactly you are going to configure it for now. Configure business rule, and from there you'll be getting an options So scenario, if I go, let's say I'm choosing alerts. Okay, any kind of alerts, trigger rules to generate employee central alerts. Okay, suppose I'm choosing this one. So I have this rule has been already defined. So I can create, this is how a typical success factor rules will be looking like. Okay, so you can see this is employee central employment related details model, and it will trigger the rules to generate employee central alert based on the requirement, based on the scenario. Okay, so in this scenario, the leave of absence or anything related to that it will be updated in the alerts. Okay, so this is how a typical, just to understand the structure here. Okay, but we will be having a separate topic on this. Okay, so this is what they are saying. If you are having a, you can configure also alerts like this. Okay, so this is admin favorite we have already covered. So how you to make your admin favorite and all. Then admin center for admin tools, all the tools we have seen today, all the different tools, different, how to reset password, all those stuff you'll be finding in the same tool. Okay, then there is another topic here. So towards the end there, I think still it will take another session for you to understand. I will cover this one in the next. Okay, it will be too much for today. Okay, but just to understand, we are going systematically and we are covering almost every topic. Okay, so here just today, just to summarize, in the admin center, overall, we started with tools. We started with the different sections of the tool itself, and it will take another, I think, 1 or 2 sessions to understand to entire topic, which is a important topic for every administrator, for every consultants. We will be seeing all these things. Okay, so we have sections, we have seen the tools, we've seen the admin alerts. Okay, and in the upcoming sessions we will be looking at jobs to some extent we have seen today. Okay, but how the dashboard looks like. Okay, suppose you want to see at a high level all the jobs you'll be finding here. What is the release center, what is the integration center, what is ISC, what are the reports. These are different sections we will be seeing in the upcoming sessions tomorrow. Okay, so before we wind up, any questions? Is it clear? No questions? Okay. So if no questions, we can call it a day, and
Is
we will.
there,
Yeah. Yes, please go
hello?
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there
please go
any
ahead.
task for today?
Which one? No.
I said, is there any task for today, sir?
No. So task today for a task will be to, I will be sharing this guide today. Okay. So I will be uploading this guide in the admins your in the portal. Okay. And in that you have to do this check, go through this guide actually. Okay. And any terminologies if you're finding difficulties and all, that's something which you can give. But if you're having a system and all, you can always check it out. Okay. People who are not having system, okay, so it is little difficult for you. Otherwise, first go through this topic, each and every individual topic. Okay, and also in the simulations which I have already told about, right? So in the simulations you will be having access. So in that also there will be few things which you can, if you do not have a system, you can practice. Okay, so let me show you what things you can do today, especially for this topic. So here in the last to last sessions, we have started with the getting started, right? In this homepage, we have talked about, okay? And in that, working with homepage, if you go further, you can look into this next gen admin, okay? So this is your, if you go here, this guide will tell you how to, this is start tutorial. It's a 2-minute activity, okay? 2 to 3 minutes activity. And you will be, whatever we have done today, to some extent, you will be getting the same thing here. Previously, they used to call next gen admin because at that point of time, we had a 2 admin center. One is a classic admin center. It was looking like a little bit different. Okay. But the next gen is currently whatever you are using is the next gen admin. Okay. We call it next gen because okay. So this is how you will be navigating. They will talking about how do you move into the admin center. So this is simulation. You can try this as many as time possible. Okay. And if you go further, this is already we have seen it right today. Okay, so just they're asking you to play around this tools. So the way it has been configured in my system, it may look little different. In my system, if you have seen, this tool was here. Okay, but here it is showing here. Okay, so you can just check it out. This next gen admin simulations. I will put the link also. It is the same screen, same URL which I have sent earlier. Okay, and you can save it as a bookmark, and you can, if you do not have a system access, still you can practice the simulation. Okay, so it will take you through the entire admin center. Okay, how to check it out, how to add a new thing here. Okay, so in the catalog, okay, there are scheduled jobs, there are integration center, right? So whatever you are seeing in my system, because it has been a little bit different, otherwise more or less this activity I will be giving to you. So this is something you can practice. Okay, anyway, even if I do not say anything, you can always go to this and there are so many exercises you can practice of yourself. Okay, so this is something, have a look into it. And if you have any question, everything we have not covered so far. Okay, so it will take another 1 or 2 sessions to cover this admin center. Okay, what are the other tools are available. Okay, but meanwhile, you have a look into it. What are the different tools are here, how you can navigate from one tool to another tool. Okay, and what are the meaning of those tools, what are the meaning of those transactions. Okay, so you can always find out here. Okay, so they talk a lot about here. So there is an upgrade center. What is an upgrade center? We'll be seeing tomorrow. What is a release center? Okay, so those are the few topics are part of your admin center, and you will be finding is interesting as well. What is the integration center? We have not covered so far, but in this 2-minute simulations, okay, which I will take 2 days, today and tomorrow, okay, to cover everything in details. Okay, but you can have a glance on this in this 2-minute video. That will be an activity, a small activity, which you can do easily. Okay, also read the guide. That is a long activity, but as you are starting, many of you are starting new. Okay, read in each and every pages. Okay, and if you're not understanding any terminology for that, okay, highlight, and you can always ask those questions referring to that guide. You can say that I have referred this guide, and in this I do not understand what is a security center. Okay, till now I have not covered it, but if you just identify the page number, and you can post in the comment in the platform itself, you can post, okay, and your queries, just like people are putting queries and I'm answering there, right? So I'll be getting notifications from here in my system once you ask any questions there. Okay, and yeah, that will be your task for today, nothing much more than that. Okay, any other questions you have? Hope it is clear. Okay, if no
Yes,
questions,
thank you so much.
yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, welcome, take care, bye bye.
Thanks and bye.